Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. We're live for the final round of 16 game. It's Colombia against Switzerland. We're just in time and you're very welcome. So thank you everybody who's tuning in on the show tonight. I've not actually got to watch Colombia that often, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'm not going to lie. Hopefully it will live up to expectations. Obviously the winner of this plays Argentina, and at some point someone needs to knock them out, in my opinion. Could it be Colombia? I mean, look, to be fair, I do think Argentina, now I've had a chance to sort of reflect, when you come through Egypt and Cape Verde and you're the favourites and you struggle, notoriously when they play someone like Colombia or England, they'll be motivated and they'll probably get better and better as the tournament goes on. So they're a dangerous proposition, I think, Argentina. But anyway, different game. And who will play Argentina? We will find out, because we have these two teams playing against each other now. Colombia. Well, I think Colombia are an interesting team, but then we had the Colombian fan on last night saying don't count on us to do anything. So I don't know whether that's just glass half empty or actually maybe we're overrating them a little bit. I don't know, but let's have a look at the two teams anyway on your screens as well as mine. Let's have a start with Colombia. No Manzambi for Switzerland. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it's Vargas in goal. Munez, Sanchez, Lucimi, Mashika, Perta, Lerma, Arias, Rodriguez, Suarez and Diaz. We'll go through who they play for in a moment. But it's you know, I think Colombia are one of those teams where there are some of their parts, which is very South American, where it's not necessarily about individuality, it's about a collective. Cobble, Zakaria, Alvedi, Akanji, Rodriguez, Freuler, Xhaka, Jassari, Ndoye, Reeder, and Bolo for Switzerland. Some familiar names in there, that as well. They've done very well, Switzerland, so far in the World Cup to get where they are. But feels like it's a bit of a home game for Colombia here. Lots of yellow. Although, is there Canadian, French, Swiss maybe? I don't know. Am I stretching a little bit there? I don't know. France game is to have all Argentina refs. It's rigged, says Nicholas. Get ready for England to play the corrupt Argentines, says UTD. Thank you very much for your super chat. Richard Rios is on the bench for Colombia. He's class. Yeah, he's a good player, Mark, but he's been on the bench throughout this tournament, to be fair. Yeah. You know, I'm just looking at the weather in the UK. We're not set up for this. It's basically 30 degrees until a week tomorrow. And even then it could stay like it until a week on Saturday. We're not set up for it. I'm not a fan of 30 degrees every day in the UK. 24 is fine. 30 is just oppressive. Anyway, enough of that. I wanted to look at something else. Let's have a look at this Colombia squad and let me tell you a little bit about it. You can't change the weather. There's no point moaning about it. Something as UK people learn very, very quickly. Good pace to this game in the first few minutes. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. I've noticed that in this World Cup. If you park the bus and you're negative, you do stand out. Like, not everybody's doing it. There's a lot of teams that are playing high-intensity football, and it's great to see. So, let's have a look at the Colombia team. Still got Yerry Mina, if you remember him. He used to play for Everton. He's not starting, though. Davinson Sanchez, you'll remember from his Spurs days. He's at Galatasaray now. Lucimi is playing next to him. He plays for Bologna. Munez obviously plays for Crystal Palace. Majika, the left back, he plays for Mallorca. Very experienced back four for Colombia, actually, because they're all basically in their 30s. Midfield three of Lerma, Perta and Arias. Again, you will know some of these players. Arias was spent some time at Wolves. He's now back playing in Brazil for Palmares. I think he's looked quite good in this tournament. I know he wasn't very good at Wolves, but he's benching Rios at the moment, Arias. Perta is an interesting one. He plays for Racing Santander. He's only 22. Corner here for Colombia. Let's just see what happens with it. Yeah. Number 14, Perta. He's only 22, and he's out on that left-hand side. Plays for Racing Santander. And obviously Lerma plays for Crystal Palace as well. He's 31. Rios is on the bench. And then you've got Luis Diaz, obviously at Bayern Munich. Suarez plays for Sporting. And who else have they got? James Rodriguez. So it's an experienced Colombian side. Watch out for Mejica. He's unreal on career mode, says Profit Pathway. There, number 17 left back. Switzerland, of course, with Xhaka. Rodriguez feels like he's been playing for bloody years as well. He is a player that's, you know, I feel like he's been playing at least 20 years for Switzerland. I mean, how old is he now? Rodriguez, the left back. 33. He's played 142 times for Switzerland. He's now 33. He'll be 34 next month. Xhaka's played 150 times for Switzerland. I'm surprised Sommer doesn't play in goal still, actually, because he still plays, doesn't he? Zakaria playing at right back was actually a midfielder, wasn't he? I remember him being linked to United. Avaldi at centre back is at Borussia Mönchengladbach. Obviously, we know Akanji, formerly of Manchester City, now at Inter Milan. Rodriguez, very experienced left back, as we said, 142 caps. He's actually unattached at the moment. Xhaka's at Sunderland. Freuler next to him plays for Bologna, 34. Rieder is at Augsburg, 31. Jasari, the number 10, plays for Milan, only 23. Ndoye's at Forest, as we know. Not done. I actually hasn't done as well at Forest as I thought he would do. I thought he looked quite a good player before that. And then Bolo, he's been around a while. He's 29 now. He's at Rennes. So two quite experienced sides, really. David says he's been impressed by Colombia. I would like Colombia to go through. I think Colombia-Argentina would be a better game than Switzerland-Argentina. But look, it doesn't always work out like that. And look, with 20 minutes to go in the Argentina-Egypt game, it looked like we might not have any South American teams in the quarterfinals, which would have been crazy for a tournament that's being played in the Americas. DG says the Swiss manager looks like a Bond villain. Thank you very much for your super chat, pal. TK Moon says, I discovered you 3 weeks ago and I've been loving this channel. Love your co-host Rory and the blonde girl who runs it. They're amazing. Thank you very much. I always find it incredible when we get new people getting involved as part of the community. And why wouldn't we? You know, it's been growing for years now. But you're very welcome. And all I ever say is, tell your friends and family about us. That's the best way to grow. Lucas says, I'm Colombian. I went to the game last week, and one thing people may not see is the travelling Colombians really show up and give them a hand. Well, we can, Lucas. I mean, you can tell by the yellow, can't you? And remember, the quarter-final is going to be played in Kansas City between Argentina and Colombia. So that will be very, very busy. Marge says, hello, Mr. Bridge. The World Cup has given me life. Please do share the video. Just on our subscriber count, if you are new, you won't be aware of this. We're on the road to 1.5 million subscribers, which is a great thing for the channel and the community. We are currently, I'm trying to figure this out. We're on 497,000, but we're on 497,940. So we're 60 subscribers away from 498. So please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner, and we're nearly into the final 2,000 countdown. Good energetic start though this. I like games of football like this. I'm very happy to watch this sort of football. You see what I mean there though? Arias looks good there. I know he didn't do well at Wolves, but in the World Cup, it just shows you international football is not the same. Arias, to me, looks really good. He's got a low centre of gravity, he's quick and he's aggressive. And he suits this Colombian side. But every time I say it, people go, he's fucking shit. He was rubbish at Wolves. Have you seen what the Egypt manager said after the game? No, I would like to. See if I can find it for you. They've not put it on the BBC. Yeah, propaganda media, isn't it? Why would you not say? Let's see if we can find it for you. I can't see anything. No, I don't know. It's not being reported widely what he said, if he said anything. I saw that he may have made a gesture about like racism when he did the he put his two arms together, didn't he? Rafa says, gutted for Egypt, were they robbed? Look, I think in the heat of the moment, it left a sour taste in the mouth, as I said, and I've never really believed in the conspiracy about favouritism. However, I think that yellow card that they gave right at the end of the game when Lautaro Martinez fell over his own feet, I think that one for me was the one that pushed me over the edge. I just feel that I think if Argentina had scored the goal that Egypt had ruled out, it would have been given. And I think if Egypt had scored the winner that Argentina did, they'd have gone back and given a penalty. And I think that's how I feel now. And FIFA can say, no, it wouldn't happen. But we can't help how we feel. And that's how it felt in that game. It felt like there was one rule for one and one rule for the other. And that's a shame. Having said that, I mean, the Argentina comeback was incredible. Good chance to whip a cross in here from Rodriguez. It's a great cross. It's a good bit of defending. And the keeper does well. That's one thing you will get from James Rodriguez is a wonderful left foot. The Egypt coach, according to Fabrizio Romano, has said that totally unfair things have happened. Egypt Zico said, the referee is unfair, God is sufficient for me and the best disposer of affairs. He's wasting the effort of an entire nation. The cup is being given to Argentina. They will win the World Cup. Fucking hell. Well, if you think it is being rigged for Argentina, I wouldn't worry too much about it being a conspiracy because I think a lot of people are shouting about it anyway. Look, there's three more games for people to stop Argentina. Switzerland, corner, headed away. I tell you what, though, I'm enjoying this game. And what you can't deny is, and I did say this, when you look at the Norway-Brazil game, amazing. When you look at the Belgium-USA game, brilliant. When you look at the England-Mexico game, epic. When you look at the Argentina Egypt game, couldn't take your eyes off it. So we've had 8 round of 16 games, and I'd say we've had 2 shit ones, Paraguay, France, and Spain, Portugal. We've had 4 really good ones, and I'm trying to think what the other one was. I'll tell you what, it's easier if you've got the bloody list, you prat. So Paraguay, France was crap. Canada, Morocco was mid. Brazil, Norway was brilliant. Portugal, Spain was shit. Mexico, England was brilliant. Belgium, USA was good. Argentina, Egypt was brilliant. So over half of them have been very good. That's not a bad ratio. Robbie says, Egypt were 2 goals up. They ruined it themselves. If someone inherited Messi's skills at the age of 25, starting at the bottom of football ladder, how far do you think they would go? Top flight or flow? David, that's so weird. That's a weird thing to think. I mean, if somebody had Messi's skills at 25 and they're at the bottom of the football ladder, they'd be at the top of the football ladder very fucking quick, mate. Within weeks, if not days. Because they'd play one game at the bottom of the ladder and they'd be fucking amazing. And someone would go, who is this person? And then someone would take a chance on him. If it's so rigged, bet your house on Argentina then. No, I think they get knocked out, J Generation. Unless they're going to massively improve, I think Argentina will get knocked out. Especially if Colombia get through. I can't see them playing the way they are, battling past Colombia, Norway or England, and then France or Spain. I think they'll come unstuck. Apparently they've had 8 penalties in 12 games. Don't know whether that's true. Not sure if it's real or not, but I saw something that said every official for France versus Morocco is Argentinian. Let's see who gets the calls. I don't think that can happen, Dub, Mark. I don't think that can happen. They tend to share it out. Why do you have Rooney over Kane? Kane Ballon d'Or, says Cameron. What, I don't know what we're talking. What are you on a different channel? I don't know what you're on about. Have you seen that at 5 p.m. FIFA announced the ref team for France-Morocco will be Argentinian and posted a handshake emoji? They're not even hiding it. Well, that can't be right. That can't be true. Where's that post? Simon says, you don't rate Switzerland at all, do you? I don't know where you get that from. I said it's been a good game. You can't. Takes 2 to tango, mate. I wouldn't say Colombia are dominantly on top either. I think it's been a good start to the game with a good intensity. What's your favourite chocolate bar, Mark? Says Ethan. Buy one on me. I do like a Galaxy Ripple. I don't have them because they're ridiculously Moorish, but I do like a Galaxy Ripple. Bloody hell! It's true. 4 hours ago, FIFA.com, the match officials for FIFA World Cup Match 97 have been appointed. Referee Facundo Tello, Argentinian. Assistant referee Belletti, Argentinian. Assistant referee, I think that's all on field though. That's not the VAR team, is it? It might just be a coincidence. Apparently Mason Greenwood's heading off to Fenerbahce. I genuinely thought he would end up back in England or Spain at some point. The referee today was French. Good point. Lovely play by Colombia. Great save by the keeper. That was brilliant play by Colombia and a great save. The way they moved this was fantastic. Tenacious to win the ball back. Quick movement of the ball. The shot's good and the save is good as well. Jason says, why don't any of those that say it's rigged bet big on the team and offer up big donations since they know it all? All talk, says Jason. Marge, I can't read that out. Thank you very much for your super chats. Corner to Colombia. This first 20 minutes is absolutely flown by. I'll tell you what I like about Colombia. The speed in which they play the game. Very quick team. Can't believe it's only bloody Tuesday night, you know. You know that England game? I think that England game has made me feel like it's Thursday. Mark, I'd offer 140 million for Camavinga and Tchouameni, says Henny. I'd rather have Wilcox than you, pal. Lovely play. Look at this from Colombia. Really good defensive work, though, by Akanji. Stepping out from the back. They're matching up against each other really well. Credit to both teams. Really good game of football. It's not slow. Samp says Wikipedia already has Argentina as 2026 World Cup winners. Has no referee enforced the asking for a card rule, says Jordan. No, hydration break. I can't believe it. I'll tell you what. What we all doing? What are we all doing for the next 2 days? Seriously, I'm not pissing about. What are we all doing? I mean, I've got the 8 o'clock show on the United Stand. That's always there. But what are we doing? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, there's no early morning game tonight. There's no match at all tomorrow. What we're doing? No, it's been brilliant. It's been brilliant. And if you are new or if you're not new, it has been. And it's not over yet, I know, but it has been brilliant. I've thoroughly enjoyed the last few weeks. It's been tiring. Definitely been tiring. I do regret some of my life choices. I'm not quite sure when I look back at... I was doing this the other day, actually. When I look back at the first week of the tournament and some of the games I was doing at 1 o'clock in the morning, like Yeah. But I've loved it, and I think it's been a good tournament. I think there's been some big moments, rememberable moments, controversial moments. Look at the goal scoring chart. It's been great, but it will be weird tomorrow. It'll be weird tomorrow, having no game, rest day. Yeah, and then one game. It's only going to be one game a day then, isn't it? Even as a kid, I used to get sad when the World Cup sort of started to slow down. I love it. I loved it in Qatar. I loved it in Russia. I loved it in Brazil. I love it when there's like 3 or 4 games a day. Henny says, Goldbridge on the overlap, make it happen. Well, I'll have a bloody good go. I mean, doesn't mean it'll happen, but... What's your most memorable moment of the World Cup so far, says Aidan? I mean, look, on a bias level, I think that I just keep watching the highlights of the Azteca, England, Mexico. I mean, just incredible. But if it's a non-England moment, I think Norway knocking Brazil out was great on many levels. One, because I predicted that exact game, and I also predicted that Brazil would be the biggest high-profile flop. And it's, I want football to change. I'm bored of the status quo. I'm bored of it being France, Argentina, Spain. I want these smaller nations to come through and start to, because the World Cup will get better and better. If you can watch a World Cup and not know it's always going to be Argentina, France and Spain, it's better for everybody. So, yeah. Messi's hat-trick was pretty special. I mean, I watched that in the early hours of the morning. Keel says, you literally can't speak. Kyle says, do you believe Argentina gets favoured by FIFA? I mean, I don't understand why they get favoured. I don't understand why FIFA would favour them. It can only be Messi. What? You wouldn't look at Argentina and go, ooh, Alexi McAllister and Enzo Fernandez. Ooh, Romero. Let's do them a favour. I mean, it would have to be a Messi thing. But look, the amount of penalties they've had in the last 2 World Cups is a lot. Some of the decisions they had today were ridiculous. I've never really looked at it, but I am starting to see it now, and I'll leave it there. Eero says, this is the least watched last 16 game around the world. Well, I don't know why. I think sometimes you have the least glamorous tie because, it's Colombia and Switzerland, but I think it's been a good game of football, and ultimately I don't care whether it's the least watched game or not. I love football. I've enjoyed this World Cup, and I would not be surprised if either of these teams, or whoever goes through, give Argentina a good game in the early hours of Sunday morning. Paul says, I know it's boring, but are you club over country? I'm going to run a poll on this. I mean, I think certain players are country over club. I could write a long list. But for me, it's club over country. I've got to say, I've absolutely loved the vibe, and it is a vibe around England. England is a strange country in 2026 where, when I think back to the 90s, it's not that country anymore. It's lost its identity through weak leadership, and we've eroded, patriotism and what being English is. And I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a good thing. You look at Mexico and other countries who are very proud of being from that country. I think it's almost been diluted out of us that it's a bad thing to be proud to be English. But when I look at the football team and the fans, you know, I must say for the first time in a very long time, I do actually feel quite... Great save by Colombian goalkeeper. That was a chance for Switzerland. I have felt a sense of pride and patriotism over the last couple of weeks, which is, I think, is a good thing. So, you know, I'm definitely more into England than I was under Southgate, but always club, always Man United. Always Man United. Yeah. And they're not mutually exclusive. I mean, look, you can enjoy Man United and you can enjoy whatever your nationality is. The trouble with international football is it's only really interesting when it's a major tournament, whether it's the Copa America, the AFCON, Euros, World Cup. It's just the international calendar is really shit. And I don't know how you solve it. But it is really shit. And it wasn't a boring question, Paul, actually. It was quite a good one. See, this is the problem. You say, like, you feel a sense of patriotism and, you know, you're a reform supporter or you're a racist or anything like that. And that's the problem. I think that's exactly the problem. I think that, you know, certain politicians and leaders of this country have made people feel that, you know, if you're proud to be English, you vote reform, which is just complete and utter bollocks. You know, you are where you're born from. You are where you're born, aren't you? And there is a history to being Mexican or, you know, Indian or Australian or whatever like that. Why is it bad to want England to beat Norway? Why is it bad for a Norwegian to want to beat England? But it's been diluted out of us. It's like, you know, you can't do that. I mean, the English flag is, I don't even know if you can put it up on YouTube. It's, for me, I'm enjoying being English in this World Cup. I'm enjoying supporting England. The same way I enjoy supporting Man United and desperately wanting us to beat Liverpool, you know? Andy Brassel said it's more profitable for Portugal to lose with Ronaldo than to win without him. Sponsors, ticket and jersey sales, etc. That makes total sense, Sim. That makes total sense from a financial point of view, yeah. Be interesting. I mean, Ronaldo's talking about staying for the Euros, isn't he, as well? Lovely play by Colombia. Bit of space for Luis Diaz. Went for the shot. Good defending. I tell you what, Switzerland have had a good couple of shots while we've been talking away. Very evenly matched at the moment. Game probably does need a goal, to be fair. Aaron wants a penalty. Yeah, you're never getting a penalty for that. No. What is an ITK, says Real Slim Shaney. I mean, you could have just Googled it without doing a super chat. An ITK is an in the know. Somebody who pretends they're in the know. ITK. Jod says you won't be happy when England become the next FIFA Argentina victim. Well, yeah. It's never nice when it happens to you, is it? That's the problem. And all the people having a go at Egypt for what they've said after the game. Look, in the heat of the moment, you feel like, you know, they might not feel like that in the morning, but I do have sympathy for them. Lee says, are you for or against the daylight offside proposal? I think it's preposterously. This is Wenger, isn't it? I think it's absolutely preposterous. So Wenger wants the new offside rule to be where you're only offside if there's daylight between you and the attacker, so they can basically be ahead of you. I just think it would change the way football is played. you would not be able to. You wouldn't be able to play a high line. Basically, it would promote parking the bus, edge of the penalty box defending, because you'd never be able to play offside effectively. The human body, the human brain would not be able to operate an offside trap when they're only offside if they're ahead of you, you know? Keel Robinson says, agreed, Mark. I remember 1996. UK patriotism was perfect. Was so proud. You've always kept politics and contentious issues off your channel. That's why I watch you twice a day for over 6 years, says Simon. Yeah, and I'm not about to bring it on now. You know, I'm enjoying supporting England because the football team is making me feel quite patriotic. That's it. That's not political. That's a sense of, you know, belonging and supporting something, isn't it? Which is the same as supporting Man United. Ray says, I'm country only because my team United could win. Sorry, I'm country only because my team could win 3 titles in a row. Unlikely, but country not likely to win consecutively. Henny says, do you think the FIFA president should stand down? Oh, no, he thinks he's doing a great job. Parker says, if you had to take 3 American players at United, who would you take? Three American players. Well, I'd take Anthony Robinson, Tillman, maybe you're right back. I think there's a bit of potential there. No Tim Ream, says Cowboy. No, funnily enough, not. Oh, too slow. Little bits of frustration from Colombia there. Rob Dobson says, as a Macclesfield fan, I'd take club over country. Well, have you ever looked at when England play, whether it be in the World Cup, the Euros, or Wembley, whatever? You'll notice a lot of flags. And they'll be for teams like Stockport County, Sheffield Wednesday, Preston North End. Supporting England is a really big thing for lower league teams because it's their step up, I suppose, isn't it? That's always been the case. Always been the case. Huge support for England in the lower leagues. Rowan says, great streams, Mark. Who is your find of the World Cup? I think Buadi was a player I wasn't really familiar with before the World Cup, and I know a lot of clubs were. If you James Rodriguez. Switzerland are defending really well, you know. Start, bench, sell. Jimmy Carr, Jimmy Bullard, or Jimmy Savile, says Andrew. Come on. It's basically Jimmy Carr or Jimmy Bullard, isn't it? I do like Jimmy Carr, but it's his laugh. I can't watch it. I just can't watch his stand-up because his laugh. Corner to Colombia. Amen to you speaking about national pride. I listen because of your funny accent and love England versus Norway is going to be wild. Yeah, and that's all I'm talking about, Jason. Like, you know, and it's not an English thing. The Norway fans with the roo, the Iceland fans with the clap, the Mexico fans with the Azteca, the Argentinian fans today, the Colombian fans here. I love it. I love that. That it's as simple as that. It doesn't go beyond that. It's nothing to do with like anything else. It's that sense of belonging, that patriotism of your supporting your team in a competitive sport. It's really that simple. I haven't felt that about England for a long time. What's going on here then? Is it a corner or a goal kick? Goal kick. I like this rule. I like this rule a lot. I really didn't think it was going to make that much of a difference. But it happens a lot. This rule's really good. Like, it's not a corner. They give a corner and it's not a corner. It's amazing. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, but I never thought it was that frequent a problem. I mean, even today, I think we've seen it 4 times across 2 games where corners are given and it wasn't a corner. And, you know, VAR can correct it very, very quickly. And it's good. It's really good because how many times have we seen a goal scored from a corner and it wasn't a corner? So I think it's good. Maturing is realising it's country over club. If your club win a trophy, you can brag about it for a few years. If England win the World Cup, it brings the whole country together and will be remembered for generations, says WWFC Wiggy. You know, and you know what, mate? I think sometimes when France won the World Cup in '98, I really remember how it sort of captured a nation and did bring them together. And I remember a lot of the French players saying that. They felt like it was a moment for France, and quite envious of that. Quite envious of that, really, because I think we've not had it for a generation, and it would be really interesting to see what that's like. Mark, done that one. What's your best 11 so far, Mark, and the best man of the match performance, and maybe a Norway-England poll? Yeah, Tom, you're asking me a right load of stuff there. I can't do that. It's like that's like a project for a video, a 10-minute video where you spend a couple of hours. I can't give you my team of the tournament just like that. It takes too much thinking power. Man of the match performance, Messi, a hat-trick. I mean, if people want to put forward their best 11s, I'll read some out. But you know, that's difficult. That's more difficult than a Premier League team of the season because there's not a high volume of games, but there's a lot of countries. So who would be the goalkeeper of the tournament? Colombia on the attack here. Wide to Muniz. Good defending again by Switzerland. I'm clapping them because they've defended really well. I think Colombia have shaded this, but then again, 50-50 possession. And Switzerland have had more shots on target. Rohan with the best question of the night. What's a biscuit you love to dunk in your tea? I mean, I don't think you can beat a hobnob, but you can a chocolate hobnob. Oh, it's just the satisfying soakability. Nothing comes of the corner. Oh, all that I know. Well, we're nearly at half time here. I mean, could be an extra time game. Don't actually mind it. Not got a late game. Sorry, I just lost the live chat there. What's your game plan on Thursday to get through versus Deschamps, says Harry. Morocco, I think they've got to play like they did against Brazil in the first game. I think they've got to... I think if you... I understand why Egypt did it, but the reason they gave up a 2-0 lead is because it's just basically sit back and hope that you can soak up the pressure. I think that's a bad idea when you've got Dembele, Mbappe and Elise. I think you've got to have an attacking game. You've got to have a possession game. You've got to limit the opportunities they have in and around your goal. So they can't just sit deep and counter. I think they've got to have a game plan to attack. Name a player you didn't know about before the World Cup that you'd take to United. Bawadi, really easy for you, fam, because it's got to be a midfielder, hasn't it? Ali says, can you wish my mate Michelle a happy birthday? He is a Chelsea fan, a roast needed, but he deserves a birthday wish because he got me Cantona signed jersey. Well, there you go. Happy birthday, pal. Lachlan says, any form of digestives, dunk Tim T equals goat. They're a bit bland, though, aren't they? Zanny says, I'm not white British and have been told I'm not as English as my friends born here. Is that what a lot of English people think? Absolutely not. I mean, I think racist people think that, but I mean, look, seriously, mate, considering I'm well into my 40s and growing up watching England in the early 90s, late 80s, you had people like Des Walker, John Barnes, Paul Parker, all starting for England. I mean, that was 1990. So I don't think people think like that. Maybe they do in other countries, but I don't think people think like that in England. And if they do, I would say that they probably are a racist, because England's not a country that's been like that in my lifetime. We've always been quite diverse, and it's become more diverse. What is your game plan on Thursday? They've done that one. The idea of the Wenger law is to promote more attacking football and stop teams from playing negative, low block football. Maybe just give it a go. No, but it won't. One and only. Think about it, right? I used to play centre back. If I know somebody's offside, if they're ahead of me, the way the human brain works we're in a line, you're onside. I step forward, you're slightly ahead of me, you're offside, right? How do I do that if I step forward, you're ahead of me, you're onside? You're only offside if I step forward enough that there's daylight between us. I can't do it. I'm looking behind, I can't see. But I can do the offside trap if we're level, because I'm like there. I can't tell if you're offside if I've got to have daylight between you. So I can't play offside. So I won't play a high line. I'll play on the edge of the box. It's going to make teams play more defensive. It won't work. 'Is it half time? 11,000 people watching. Thank you so much. I think it is. The old cameras, yeah, he's taking that out. Yeah, 0-0 at half time. Look, need a goal. Some people are saying a boring game. I think it's been played at high intensity. I just think it needs a goal. Very evenly matched teams. Not enough goal-mouth action. I tell you what, I would say though, if Switzerland could score, they could knock Colombia out. I know that sounds like Michael Owen, but I think some people think that Colombia are the favourites for this game. Fucking hell, it's getting hot in here. 26.7 degrees. Let me tell you, Lim says, I was in France for Euro 2000 and Spain in 2010. Scenes. I have hip surgery at 7 a.m. after the final. I'll be gutted to miss the party if we do it. Might get postponed, mate. I mean, doctors might want to take the day off as well. Would you want hip surgery or any surgery at 7 a.m. the morning after England have won the World Cup, I think I'd be like, you know what, you might not be. I would want to see, I would want to chat with the surgeon, and ideally they would not be interested in football. Yeah. I'm not saying they're going to be pissed. I'm just saying they might be tired or something like that. For the record, I'd pick Bale over Messi and Ronaldo, says Keel. Okay, now. That's got to be the worst statement of 2026. I lived in Colombia for 2 years, says Daily Shrug News. Now back in Northampton. Medellin is an amazing city, full of culture and beauty. Jordan Henderson is a joke. From Colombia to Northampton to Jordan Henderson in the space of a sentence. Brilliant, brilliant super chat, Daily Shrug News. I tell you what, I really did enjoy. You know, sometimes you think back to TV series that you've watched, and at the time you enjoy it, but you don't realise at the time that in years to come you'll look back on that and go, that was incredible. What was it called? There was a few seasons of it, but it was the first season was basically about Escobar, and it was on Netflix. Oh, it was brilliant. It was well shot. It was brilliant. Really, really good. Narcos, yeah. What a brilliant season that was. So good. Michael Arthur says, I want England to win the World Cup, but give it up for United to win the treble again. No. I'm very intrigued to see. I'd be very intrigued to see what it's like for England to win the World Cup. I think it would be great for England as a country to, you know, it's the feel-good factor, isn't it? I remember one of the, I don't know where, actually I don't remember what year it was. Maybe it was Euro 2004 when we had the flags on the cars. And it was just, you know, people were, I've got to be honest, I don't see any flags on cars at the moment. I don't see any flags on houses. I mean, you see them on bridges. That's something else. But yeah, in 2004 they had the flags on the cars. People had them, you know, out the windows. I would be really interested to see what it would be like to win a World Cup. But I would never put it ahead of a treble. I would never do that. I want England to win. Mark, what music do you prefer? House, drum and bass, or techno? None of those, thanks, Bradley. None of those. Ooh, I tell you what, I've not seen this for a while. It's cloudy in New York. I feel like I haven't watched many games on ITV. You know, the first week or so, I was like glazing it so much. Oh my God, the Brooklyn Bridge, the Financial District, the Statue of Liberty. Oh my God. The first week, it was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I feel like I haven't really noticed it the last week and a half. What a set, though. What a set. There's the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, I'll miss this. I'll miss this. Any form, thank you, you've done that one. Have you ever been to New York? Marion, you'll get in trouble in the chat. Ray Cowley says, you're assuming the surgeon is English. Yeah, but they might stay up and enjoy it. They might be a massive football fan. If England win, can you do a drinking live stream? Says Passion Fruit. I mean, let's just have a look at the next run of games in the World Cup, because some people might not be aware of how it's going to play out. So after this game, no game in the early hours, no game tomorrow. We're back on Thursday at 9 o'clock for the first quarter final. France against Morocco, Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Friday night at 8 o'clock, it's Spain against Belgium. Saturday night at 10 o'clock, it's Norway against England. And then in the early hours of the morning at 2 a.m, it's Argentina against Colombia. Obviously, we'll be doing all of those games on here as watch-alongs. Then next Tuesday at 8 o'clock, it'll be the winner of the France-Morocco game playing the Spain-Belgium game in the semi-final of the World Cup. And then next Wednesday at 8 o'clock, it'll be the winner of Norway-England playing the winner of Argentina, or this game, in the second semi-final. Saturday the 18th of July is the most irrelevant game I will not do. It's a 10 o'clock third place game. I will not watch it. If you want to watch that, please do. Even if England are in it, I ain't fucking watching it. I am not watching loser semi-final 1 play loser semi-final 2. I don't know why they do it. I think it needs kicking into the long grass. It's an absolute fucking waste of time. So I just do not want to watch it, and I won't watch it. But the final is on Sunday the 19th of July at 8 p.m. So that's the next few games. So they're all going to be pretty much. People can stop moaning now because they're all on at the right time, aren't they? Does anybody actually know why they do the third place game? I just don't. I understand in the Olympics because you can get a bronze medal, but Chris says it's for the rankings. Jamie says it's because of the money. I remember England getting into it in. Well, we must have been in it the last couple of World Cups. Who did we? I don't remember the one in Qatar. Did we win or lose? And we must have played it in Russia. I don't remember. Did we get to did we get to the semi-final in Qatar, or did we get to the quarter-final? Oh, we didn't get to the semi-final in Qatar. I thought we did. I thought we lost to France in the semi. No, it's quarters, Mark. Yeah, I didn't know that. We lost to Belgium in 2018. You see, I don't remember that. I definitely don't think I did a watch along. I thought Alexi McAllister was Scottish, says Keel. And Winston says, what do you think your chances are against Norway? 60%. 60-40 in our favour, I think. I think we're slight favourites. William says, living in Manchester as a Brazilian, I love seeing all the flags. I think England is the only country where people get shamed for supporting their home nowadays. Be English, be proud. I hope they win. Thank you, William. Do you think it was a penalty on Salah in the end? Says Louis. It's a great question. I think if it had happened to Argentina and Egypt had scored, they'd go back and give a penalty to Argentina. That's what I think. Doesn't mean it was a penalty on Salah. I just think if it had been the other way around, it would have been turned over. Fear Fam, Ollie says, if England play Argentina and the refereeing is biased like today, are you going to have a paramedic on standby? Mate, look, to be fair, the Mexico game wasn't without its drama, was it? I mean, that was pretty... And you know, some of those decisions were correct, but it still takes its toll. All I want to do is have some fun. No, all I want to do is avoid penalties. I just don't want a penalty shootout against anybody in this tournament. And to be fair, I don't know the statistics, but we haven't had that many penalty shootouts, have we? Like Seb was saying to me today, have we had any? And I said, well, we definitely had Paraguay, Germany, but I feel there was another one. Was it Netherlands? I think the Netherlands have one against Morocco. But they're the only two. I think they're the only two, aren't they? Australia, Egypt. Did the Netherlands and Morocco go to penalties, or have I dreamt that? Australia, Egypt went to penalties. Japan. Japan. Who did Japan play? Morocco. I can't remember. Yeah. Yes, Netherlands and Morocco was one. Thank you. James is one of my favourite ever players. Come on, says Hens. And CJ says, I'm at the World Cup. Just got back to the USA from Mexico. Mexicans are lovely people. Marge says, for the record, I'd pick Fellaini over Messi and Ronaldo. Adam says, who would you support if you couldn't support Man United? I get asked this a lot, and I just don't know what the answer is, because there's no logical reason. The reason I support Man United is because of family. Where's that? Is that where we are now? Is that Vancouver? It's lovely. Is that Vancouver? That looks good. It's not Salford. It's Stoke. It's not Salford, it's Stoke. They do call Vancouver the new Stoke. What do you make of the World Cup ball design? I'm not really into balls, Ryle. England has more game changers than they've ever had, says Rohan. Switzerland will win this game, says Rob. Why are people saying that I've got a downer on Switzerland? I haven't got a downer on Switzerland. I said that it's been a very equal game. They've been very evenly matched. And if they score first, they've probably got a very good chance of going through. Dodgy officiating, preferential treatment of the big teams is a shame. For teams like Brazil and Argentina, referees will bend over backwards for them, says Winston. Knight Rider says, do you think either of these teams could beat Argentina? Who's that then? I've got no fucking idea, and I feel I should know who they are. I'm looking at the live chat. Hello said it's because you accidentally said earlier that something about Argentina playing Colombia. Well, I think Colombia would be the favourites, wouldn't they? But if Switzerland get through, fair play. Considering they haven't got Manzambi. Name 3 things related to Colombia. But, mate, I'm always going to do football. Shakira. Drugs. And Valderrama. At least that's honest. They're the 3 things that came into my head. Players are coming out for the second half. Manzambi to Newcastle, thoughts? It's the sort of signing Newcastle should be making. Torre is the sort of signing they should be making. Stiller is the sort of signing they should be making. Newcastle need to go back to what they were all about. You know, Bruno Guimaraes came in from Lyon, didn't he? Joel Linton, where did he come from? Tonali came in from Milan. They need to go back to buying those types of players. It's at the core of what's served them really well. A substitution here for the Swiss. Jassari is coming off and Sao is coming on. What can I tell you about Sao? He's 29 years of age. He plays for Sevilla. He's a midfielder. And he hates watchers, which is funny because Swiss are very famous for good watchers. Mark, do you think it's strange that only one Argentina player has been booked in the knockout stage, especially because 2 cards means missing the next game? Oh, It's like Paraguay all over again, Tom, wasn't it? I mean, you just couldn't understand why they weren't getting booked. Still 0-0 yet. Are you going to miss any games from now on? No. Well, I'm not planning to. What we got? 4 quarterfinals, 2 semi-finals, and a final. I won't do third place. On a Saturday night at 10 o'clock watching a third place game. No. And I think England being in that would make me even less likely to watch it because it would piss me off that we're not in the final. So I don't think I missed that many. How many, as a percentage, how many games do you think I've watched? How many games have you watched? I'd say I've watched over 90% of the games. Which ain't bad. It was Foot Rot Flats from New Zealand, says Banger. Well, I've never bloody heard of them. Rohan says that coffee you had helps. Yes, it definitely did. I've been all right today, but the problem is, after the Belgium-USA game, I couldn't sleep. Because there was a fucking bird singing. You know when a bird wakes up too early? I'm literally talking about the flying things. Sorry, 1 minute. Yeah, I couldn't sleep. I'm talking about the flying things, the flying birds. And I've noticed it a lot over the last few weeks that you think birds wake up when it's light, but you get thick birds like you get thick people. And anyway, I went to bed last night. It was still dark at 3:10 in the morning. Just got into bed and I heard tweet, 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 tweet. I looked out the window. It was dark. And I'm like, you do get thick birds as well, don't you? You shouldn't be up, you absolute idiot. So that sort of kept me awake for a bit. And then I had to get up at 7. So I only had 3 hours sleep. So yeah, that coffee at 6:30 really has really helped out. I hate pigeons. D4 Don says, noisy pigeons keep me awake. I can't stand pigeons. Some people like the sound of pigeons. I find them really irritating. Samarito says he likes thick birds. Yeah, I don't think we're talking about the same thing. Penalty! Oh! Could have been a shout for Switzerland there, and Doy went down. I'd tell you what, it's been a good start to the half for Switzerland. What's wrong? What's wrong with this ref? No. Oh, well, there's a little bit of a pull on the shirt. I mean, there's a pull on the shirt. There's a pull on the shirt. We're playing on. No penalty. He probably went down a bit easy, didn't he? Referees don't like it when they go down like that quickly. Right. Not in a footballing sense. 49 and 17. There we go. Timer Bridge. Thank you, Koala. What do you think of your Tillemans? What do you think of Yuri Tillemans, and can he suit Man United? He's not coming to Man United. I'd take him at Man United. I think he's a very good player, but he won't be coming to United. Oh, two, see what you can do. Let him rest for pity's sake. Can't beat a bit of Sean Bean. Mate, you've just ignored the best pass. Diaz. Yeah, I think Colombia, somebody was saying, out of these teams, Do you think either of them can beat Argentina? I think the problem's going to be scoring goals. Neither team looks particularly prolific. And as we know in this tournament, you know, Brazil are out because Haaland knows where the goal is. Put respect on pigeons. They helped you win the World War, says OTG. Fair point, well made. Jacques has just had a yellow card. Blank says, where I'm from, thick bird means something else. One and only 13 says, what's your thoughts on the Japan curse pattern? Since 2002, the country that beats the team that knocked Japan out the World Cup went and won the World Cup. Since 2002, the country that beats the team that knocked Japan out the World Cup went and won the World Cup. So Norway will win the World Cup. Is that what we're saying? Well, it would be amazing. Sleepy says 1.4 billion people in China and they can't find 11 players to qualify. Why? Well, we've had this chat about India before, because India is, you know, a hugely populated country, but the general consensus there is that it's just not a very well-funded sport comparable to cricket. And I think is it lacrosse or hockey or something like that? In China, they actually, remember China was the original Saudi, wasn't it? Remember, like, people like Ramirez and Oscar went out there. They tried to get a Chinese league up and running. So I don't know why China are not very good at football. Free kick to Switzerland. Say who you want to win it, but you can't say England. If England don't win it, I want Norway, Morocco, or Colombia to win it. Ooh, great free kick by Reader there. Got it. Got a lot of curl on it, just a little bit wide. I don't want Argentina, France, or Spain to win the World Cup. We've seen it. We've seen it. I think that you want to see. It's the World Cup. I think it's been a great World Cup. It would be brilliant if somebody won it that wasn't one of them three. Any players from the World Cup you want to see in the Prem? Says Scrap. I wouldn't mind seeing Yamal. Tell you what, we've only had 8 minutes of the second half, but Switzerland have been the better side. Defensively, it looks like Switzerland have got Colombia sussed. Pat says, do you think a unified Ireland would have a strong team? Well, you'd be stronger. I don't know whether it'd be strong enough. For noise, magpies are the worst. Especially a bunch of them. Two cats having a standoff is not far behind, says Ryle. He's ranking annoying sounds. I think annoying sounds are being on public transport, listening to somebody sniff. Ashish says it's truly disgusting that Messi winning today has made a lot of his fans disrespect Ronaldo. Sad, and it's cricket in India, Mark. Thank you, pal. Tom says, thanks for being the cheapest psychologist and friend, Mark. Love from Norway. Best World Cup ever with you guys. Thanks. Oh, what a lovely message, Tom. Thank you very much. It's a shame, this game, because I think it's been played at a high intensity. We just needs a goal. Vicky says, annoying when someone has their speaker on having a conversation. Speakerphone. Henry says, best and worst adverts of all time, past or present. I used to hate, and I know we live in a different world now, but I used to quite like the Dr. Alban song, It's My Life. So it was a double whammy when they started doing adverts in the 90s for Tampax with that theme tune. Best adverts. I don't know. I always used to like lots of Christmas adverts, really. Also, adverts today are shit. You know, you can't have adverts about fizzy drinks. You can't have adverts about chocolate bars. I mean, the Flake advert was quite good. I don't even like Flake. I used to love the Flake advert. I'll tell you what I did used to like as well. Milk Tray. Again, didn't even like Milk Tray. Lads, we need a goal here. I'm trying my best to sort of stop it descending into a shit game, but we do need a goal. Northern birds are pretty loud and annoying too, says Multifrex. The wood pigeon has to be the most annoying sound ever created. Absolutely grates on me over and over again. Drives me mad. I know. Absolutely the same at Oddie. They're just two very evenly matched teams. Switzerland are good defensively. And I wonder if he'll bring Richard Rios on. Merlin says, have you ever been on a lad's holiday? Loads. Oh, White's Lemonade's brilliant. I nearly said that one, Mahir. Cadbury Gorilla was top tier. Is that with Phil Collins, Jordan? Yeah. Yellow card. Worst ad is easily the safe driving ad in US, narrated by a little girl, and in the end she was like, but it doesn't matter because I'm dead, and vanished. Sounds cheery, TK Moon. To be fair, I think that probably was a yellow card tackle on Luis Diaz by Zakaria. Oh, I never did the poll. What do you prefer, club or country? 59% club, 41% country. Good poll, well done. I can feel it. Foxes make an annoying noise as well. Colombia very underwhelming. I think they've both cancelled each other out, you know. Lovely feet by Rodriguez. No power on the shot. It wasn't Rodriguez. It was Luis Diaz. Judeman advert says, Joe, how many hours footy have you watched in your life? Fuck knows, Marge. I don't keep count. In the USA, mockingbirds can mimic car alarms, says Hex. Pigeons around Castleford sound like they're saying, my toe hurts, Betty. My daughter pointed it out. Now I can't unhear it. Oh, God. Half an hour to go. That's not a foul. King Chris says, how's the game been? It's had a good intensity to it. It's just not had many chances. Defences have come out on top. I think Switzerland have defended really well. Do you remember the Milky Way and Milky Bar adverts? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Danny says, how has Infantino got from Atlanta to Vancouver? It's a 5-hour flight. I'm sure he was at the Argentina-Egypt game. I don't think he was at the Argentina-Egypt game, was he? Do. Almi says the Swiss coach looks like if Mads Mikkelsen and Richard Gere had a baby. He was at the Argentina game. Well, how's he got to this then? It must be private jets. He must be doing it in a private jet. Is this the most boring game in the round of 16? Did you watch France-Paraguay? Did you watch Spain-Portugal? They were pretty shit. Oh, that was a decent chance there. He should have passed to Rodriguez. Greedy. Why no Okafor, says Jarv. A to win says this game is just proof that Argentina will be in the semi-final. Yeah, but if you watched Egypt-Australia, you never would have thought Egypt did what they did. I don't think you can. Different games, different tactics, isn't it? It's getting a bit scrappy, this game. Thanks, A to win. Reebok advert, Belly's going to get you. 2000s as Guardian. I do remember that one. Infantino was not at the Argentina game because he already knew the results, says Hey Now. He slithered through a haunted mirror, says Sir J.K. Worthing. Luis Diaz. It's a nice ball. They just can't break through this Swiss defence at the moment. There's no holes in this Swiss defence, which is surprising considering Swiss cheese is notoriously holy. I haven't got a bet builder on this one, thank God. I'd be in trouble. Do you want extra time? Not really, because it'd be nice. It would be nice to finish at 11 and then be able to have watch a film or something. I haven't had a evening finishing at 11 o'clock for quite a while. Right, we've got some subs coming on. Rodriguez goes off for the Swiss. Well, double Rodriguez. James Rodriguez goes off for Colombia. And Arias goes off as well. I don't know whether Rodriguez for Switzerland went off as well. Let me tell you who's coming on. I think that is Quintero. Yeah, Quintero and Campas. Both play in Argentina. One for River Plate and one for Rosario Central. Both midfielders. No Richard Rios is surprising. Really does surprise me. I would have thought he would have been one of the first names on the sheet, to be honest, but he's out of favour. Rodriguez did not go off for Switzerland. I think he just went for a drink. So give me coffee and TV easily. Seen so much, I'm going blind and I'm brain dead virtually. We can start over again. Do we go to the country? It isn't very far. Well, that was an interesting minute. Best commercials with the tango drinks from the 90s. They were very good. They got banned. Thank you, Old Cozy. Ray Cowley says, controversial / off topic. Yamal be a big flop in my opinion. Silver spoon at Barcelona. Where does he go to prove himself? Messi, Ronaldo moved up the ranks. He basically stood on his arse there. Block says, I've been at work and only just seen the Argentina result. Did they deserve to win or was it a fast fix? Thanks for the World Cup content, mate. Hydration break. If I'm being completely honest, I think it was a bit of both. I don't think the result was completely farcical. I just think there was a few things that went on that left a sour taste in the mouth, yeah. When United or England have a bad loss, what do you do to cheer yourself up? Totally not asking because of what happened last night, says Sully. I think it's easier because I do this, you know. I think if United have a bad result, you do the watch along. There's a match reaction. And then I end the stream and I'll go and have a drink or have something to eat. So I'm pretty much done then, really. I think the match reaction's a big help for me. Chris says, do you miss a World Cup song? Some are awful and some are funny. I don't really remember any World Cup songs apart from World in Motion, Vindaloo, and Three Lions. Hot dinner is a figure of speech, says Oddie, but I reckon you've watched more games in your life, brother. Going to have withdrawal bridge after World Cup. HP Source says, what has been your favourite team of the World Cup so far? England. No, Norway. I think have been the most watchable team. I don't think France have been particularly impressive. I don't think Spain have been particularly impressive. I don't think Argentina have been particularly impressive. The only time Norway disappointed me was when they picked the bloody reserves against France. Apart from that, they've been very watchable. Lim says, it's been an underwhelming game so far, but at least we did get to see the Swiss flag. That's a big plus. I'll get my coat. Thanks for all your super chats tonight. Did we hit 498 subscribers? I suppose that's the biggest news of the show so far. Oh, we're 10 subscribers away from 498,000. So please click and subscribe, bottom right hand corner. And then we're on the final count. Well, not on the final countdown. We're on the 2,000 countdown. There he is, Jurgen Klopp. Having some chips, dipping it in his ketchup. Because he's a bloke. Have you ever had a Coors Light, says J. Dot. I've had a few Coors Lights, mate. I mean, I do question why, but I have. When I lived in Ireland, they used to do Budweiser on tap. I used to drink that a lot. When I went to Dublin, though, they didn't do it anymore on tap. No, I'm not Irish, Alex. I lived in Ireland for 3.5 years, though. Are you fearing Norway at Saturday's match? I'm not fearing them, Andrel. I didn't fear Mexico. I'm fully aware that we could lose. I'll tell you what, keeper and Dembolo have absolutely clattered each other there. I don't think you can really blame either party. What do you think of God, says Mon. I've never met him. Or her. Don't want to get involved in that. I'm going to miss watching a football game of... sorry, Nick P says, I'm going to miss watching a game of football in stoppage midway and half for Bon Jovi and a swig of water. So give me coffee and CV. I've just been sent some quotes from the Matt, our producer's just sent me some quotes from the Egyptian coach. I'll come to those in a minute. If this game doesn't go to extra time, I'll quit YouTube. That is a bold statement, and Gary won't be very happy. But if this is going to extra time. Mbolo made a stone. That is a yellow to goalkeeper, says Stig. What size screen do you watch the games on? Well, I have my tape measure to hand, as I always do. And the screen I watch on is 28 inches. Which doesn't sound very big, but I am... also 28 inches from the screen. So it's a 28 inch screen, but I'm 28 inches from it, which is what I like. I actually said I have to have a 28 inch screen because I'm going to sit 28 inches from it. Yeah. I know you measure it diagonally. I literally just did measure it diagonally. You go from corner to corner. You can't see what I'm fucking doing, you idiots. Oh, God. You people. Diego Simeone is proud of this game, says Nicholas. Can we get a live performance of Cup of Tea and Biscuits? I'd have to remember what the chords were, Luke. Run, Luke, run. Yeah, it's not a particular big screen, but because I'm so close to it, it just works well. I think if it was any bigger, because I've got my live chat right here. It's hard to say on the screen. So my live chat's basically there. Where is my finger? Why is my finger not on screen? Oh, because the camera's there. Yeah, so the camera's here. So if you go about 2 inches diagonally right down, that's where my live chat is. And then you go across about 8 inches to where my TV screen is. Can we just go to penalties now? Can we get a setup tour sometime? Mate, I can actually twist this out and start to show you the whole room if I wanted to. Look, I've still got loads more I could do. I can go further. I can literally, like, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Do. Stig says 28 inches down there as well, sponsored by Manscaped. Mate, if anybody, I would not want to be 28 inches down there because you would literally pass out with that much blood rushing there. Sounds like a great idea, but you'd be in A&E more than Mason Mount. Imagine filling something up 28 inches long. That's going to take a lot of blood. I say pass out, you might die. If you could handpick this World Cup, which non-participating team you pick and replace them for who? Oh yes, Ray. I've got. Let me get my pen and paper and let's spend the next hour analysing that. Obviously, I would. You'd have to ask the question about can we only do it by region, because I'd love to replace Italy with Haiti and Denmark with Curacao, but that would be unfair. Oh, fucking hell, I'm fed up with this game. Who remembers that terrible song, England 2, Colombia 0 by Kirsty MacColl? Always annoyed me, but think of it when Colombia play. Kirsty MacColl. I thought she was dead. Did she not die? Was she not the one who did Fairy Tale of New York? Darren says he'd replace Scotland with Wales. It's getting heated out there. Tips for a teaching assistant job I'm going for tomorrow, says Robster. Yeah, say you hate kids. You'll definitely get the job. Don't say that. Oh, I've got some quotes from the Egyptian coach, actually. This is probably the highlights of the half. So, we looked better than the reigning champions, better in everything, but the result was influenced by internal factors on the pitch and external factors off it. Perhaps they wanted to keep the world champions in the competition. Perhaps they wanted Messi to stay in the running. In football, there are sometimes external factors that go beyond the technical aspects. The world champion receives support at every level. There seemed to be pressure from the Argentinian side on this outcome. We were objecting to the selection of the referee because of the French situation, but everybody has to suffer at some point, and we suffered. Do. Lots of people agreeing with it in the chat. Just read a very weird chat there. It was like it was something along the lines of, if you saw a homeless person fighting against 10 cats and you had to go and help and it's a fight to the death, and you had to help which side, which would you help? Rios is coming on, I think. Yeah. Lerma and Suarez off. Rios and Hernandez on. Rios is a midfielder. Hernandez is a forward who plays for Betis. Score now and it's over. Corner to Switzerland. Platt says, I've passed my driving test and I'm feeling a little bit zesty. We'll drive sensibly, mate. And well done. Matt Clark says, can't get rid of Scotland. Fans, heroes here in USA. They're probably still all there, to be fair. Right, corner to Switzerland. Matt says he'd help the homeless person. He's not a fan of cats. Oh, dear me. Oh, keeper's dropped it. Colombia have got it. Swiss have got... Oh, it's offside. Didn't see the Argentina game. Was the ref that bad? I mean, I thought the referee was bad, but I wouldn't want to say, like, if you didn't watch the game, it was obviously dodgy. I think it was just that it felt like Egypt were getting the rough side of the coin, really. Sad says, did you know that the Argentinians are the only team that hasn't played during the day, has had the most rest between their matches and travelled the less between all the countries? I don't know whether that's true or not. Come on, somebody get a late winner. Save us from this hell. I wrongly said I was looking forward to this game. It's been poor. I don't think it means it will be a poor game against Argentina. I just think these two teams have cancelled each other out. Who to blame says next summer it's the Women's World Cup. It'll be a nice break for everyone, in my opinion. Are you going to do watch-alongs? I mean, look, never say never, mate. We've never. I don't think we've ever done. Maybe we did. Maybe we did. I don't remember. But I end up watching it. I remember in Mallorca, we were in Mallorca one year and we watched it in a pub. I don't know whether it was a Euros final or something. Start, bench, sell, Seattle, Chicago, Boston. Well, I've never been to any, Matty, so I can't. Would you rather fight 3 pigs or 1 Messi, says Aaron. I don't think Messi's much of a fighter, is he? Probably the world's best ever player, but I don't think he'd be that good in a fight. I might be wrong. Do you think refs should do a post-match interview? No. They're not going to tell the truth anyway, are they, Tyler? Maybe don't concede 3 goals in 12 minutes, Egypt, says Oreos. Randy says, why don't we have incontinent World Cups? Sorry, why don't we have continent World Cups? Would that not be the Euros, the AFCON, the Copa America? Ray says the Egyptian manager's going to get a mighty fine for that because FIFA can't accept the truth. You wait, FIFA statement impending. Surprised Salah hasn't said anything, actually. I mean, obviously, he's going to be more passionate about Egypt than anything, isn't he? And he's certainly not afraid to come out and say stuff. Oliver says, what do you think about the Egypt game? I mean, like, look, I will be constructive and say that Egypt 2-0 shouldn't be losing that game. Dimitar says, when Messi wins, it's rigged. When he loses, he's a bottler. Yeah, mate, you're talking to the wrong person if you want to do the Messi-Ronaldo thing, because I like them both. I've always liked them both. And it's a shame that that's the niche stance, because for so many people, it's hate one, love the other. "87 minutes in this scintillatingly shit game of football. Just read how Christy McCall's life ended. Very tragic. British singer-songwriter who did that Colombia song, says Nick P. Diaz puts the cross in. He's saying he gets pulled down. Incontinent World Cups, would that include Messi, says Block? I mean, you can only imagine how it would work. That would have been a penalty for Argentina, says Kian. Well, whoever goes through is going to have to improve massively for the Argentina game, that's for sure. Do you think Salah could play another World Cup? I don't know what Salah's doing. Is he decided on his future yet? Cal Yus says that as a Bayern fan, I have Harry Kane winning the whole tournament, so I'm gonna come here for all the England games now. Thank you. Start, bench, sell, ref edition, Argentina, Egypt, France, Paraguay, England versus Mexico. I'll start the England-Mexico game one. I actually think, taking away the English bias, I don't think he got a lot wrong. Even the Kane penalty, which I thought was soft. I mean, there could have been a penalty. This ref don't want to give a penalty. He's the opposite of the Argentinian one. This game's going to go on forever. Start, bench, sell. Diaz, Rafinha, Vinicius Jr. I'll start Vinny. I'll bench Diaz and I'll sell Rafinha. So yeah, I'd start the... I thought the Mexico-England referee was better than the France-Paraguay one. And I'd get rid of the bloody Argentina-Egypt one. He was shocking. Most violent five-a-side team you can think of, Stig. I can't think of anyone, mate. I'm operating on 3 hours sleep now. I'm sort of on autopilot. It's a good ball. It's going to go for a goal kick. Oh, God, there's only 5 minutes added on. Sammy says you're a star doing World Cup watch-alongs. You know, here's a question for you. I mean, because you don't have to answer it. And if it comes to your mind, well done. What do you think is the most... what's the word? The hardest World Cup exit to take? Because I've always thought this, and it was brilliant for England, but in the Italia 90 round of 16, England played Belgium, and it was 0-0. In extra time. And it was going to go to penalties, and basically with the last kick of the game, David Platt scored. Loads of people saying that should have been a penalty for Switzerland. I told you, this referee they're not going to give a penalty. Kilansky says 2-0, 23 minutes left, and the match is rigged. Sure. Stig's violent five-a-side team is Khan, Ramos, Pepe, Keane, Costa. It's not bad. It's not bad. I did say on 74 minutes this was going to extra time or I'd quit YouTube. Well, look, you'll never know whether I would have quit YouTube if we'd got a goal, but I was right again. It's just, it's bloody... I think it's obvious this is going to penalties as well. Corner to Switzerland. Start bench down. Sorry, start bench sell. Lockdown United. Career mode. United stands TUSFC career mode. Or GTA 5 story mode. I mean, that's a trilogy. You know, people say, what's the best trilogy? Godfather, Star Wars. I personally think, Harry, if you know, you know, that trilogy is unbeatable. My lockdown Man United career mode, my first ever TUSFC career mode, or my GTA 5 story mode, which you can't watch. You can't watch some of these because I did them on Twitch and they're just lost forever. Because Twitch is not like YouTube, is it? It doesn't keep the video. "21, never had a girlfriend. Tip," says Daniel. Mate, you should be able to get a girlfriend in 2026. I mean, there's loads of apps. VBA says, "I'm thankful I didn't have to watch Colombia before." I've not watched many Colombia games. Yeah, thankful. I haven't watched many Switzerland games either. Weren't Switzerland in Canada's group? Yeah. Well, that's going to be it, I think. Mark's going to do a 0-0. Oh, I gave up on that. "Why has there been so many Mexican waves this tournament?" says David. Because I think they think it's a good thing. I don't think they realise that a Mexican wave to traditional football fans means the game's boring. Keel says, Vinnie Jones, Pepe, Haaland, Khan, Keane. Marge says 61, never had a girlfriend tips. Oh, God. It's extra time. I'm going to fucking lie down. Can't fucking believe it, mate. Oh, God. I see. You probably can't see me, but I'm seriously am having a lie down. I might not get up. Tell you what, it's a lot better down here than it is up there. That's what she said. That line from The Office is actually incredible, isn't it? The amount of times you can use it is so well. It's so well constructed. Oh, fucking hell. I'll tell you what, I'm on the edge here. This is getting hard. Went down too easily there, Mark. VAR, not a penalty. I'm all right. To be honest with you, we're coming towards the end of this tournament now, and every minute with you good people is a blessing. So you know what? I've enjoyed the company. We've not had that many games go to extra time, have we? I was looking at it actually. June. Netherlands. When did we start the last 32? So last 32 was 16 games, wasn't it? Extra time, Germany and Paraguay. Extra time, Netherlands, Morocco. Extra time, Belgium, Senegal. Extra time, Argentina, Cape Verde. Extra time, Australia, Egypt. And this one. We've had 6 extra times out of 24 games. It's not bad. 6 extra times out of 24 is not bad, is it? So only 25% of the games have gone to extra time. Get the guitar out. It's out. I think it's out of tune. It's out of tune, I reckon. And I'm tired. Can't use the plectrum. I'm rubbish with that. I'm really bad with that. Some people are really good with it. Really out of tune. Gripping the chords well enough today. Extra time, shit. Well, we don't know it's going to be shit. We're up for we're extra time. Thing is, you can't have a bit of fun playing a guitar with this community. Much the same as I'm trying to think. There's a few things like people get very. There will be people in the chat who are musical, who play the guitar, and they've got no tolerance for amateurs. So even though some of us are going, that's not too bad for somebody that doesn't really play it, there'll be people in the chat going, fucking rubbish. That's so out of tune. Ah. Goldbridge mused. Kick-ups, what? I'll tell you what, Nick P, I am going to do a video of me doing some football skills because I can do, however, I'll do a live stream of me doing kick-ups, however many you want, up to and including 500 off both feet, naked. No, I wouldn't do that. It'd get in the way, put me off. Why not try using background music in your videos, says Franklin. It's a bit, nah. It is a shame about that, isn't it? That Twitch doesn't retain your historical videos, because that, I'd love to watch that Grand Theft Auto playthrough again. Dance says the rest of the guitar may be cheap, but it's not a gold. It's got a Goldbridge, says Dance. Kick-ups whilst playing Wonderwall, says Nick P. Fucking hell, that would be talented. Matthew says, my favourite Oasis song is Half the World Away. What's yours? Free kick for Colombia. It's a good cross, but it's again very good defending. He won't. This ref ain't going to give a penalty under any circumstances, is he? He could chop someone's leg off and he wouldn't give a penalty. I mean, he must have ignored about 6 for both teams. That's a penalty. He's missed about 7. He's missed about 7 bloody stone wallers. I mean, I thought the Switzerland one was a penalty. This is as well. Mad. Sean says, I see you have a book of Duncan Edwards on your shelf. Have you ever been to Dudley? I've been to Dudley. I've been to his grave. Yeah. Massively important to my granddad. He loved Duncan Edwards, so it was a rite of passage to go. If you know your United history. Would that have been a penalty if it was Argentina? It wouldn't have even been a penalty. It would have been 2. It'd be like basketball, you know, where you get 2 shots. He'd have let Messi have 2. You scored 1, you get another 1. Hi Mark, can't wait for Heat 2. They've not even started filming it yet, Ollie. Favourite Doctor Who episode? Don't watch Doctor Who, Doctor Humour. Ref ain't given yellow even if they shot each other, says VBA. Nick P says the guitar is our That's Football Mexican wave equivalent. It is. In fairness, Switzerland should have had a penalty as well, so it does even itself out. Alu says, I've been tuning into your streams for most of the World Cup, and I'm glad we have you here for the snoozer games like this. This is where the watch-alongs come into their own, really. We could do with it. We could do with a Goldbridge. What would I do if I was that animal? Conversation. But there needs to be something interesting about that animal. Like last night in the Belgium game at 2 o'clock in the morning, I was talking about how the Black Widow's female spider eats the male after they've had it off. And we were saying, like, if you were a male Black Widow spider, would you stay celibate to survive, or would you just think, fuck it? Literally. And I was saying, look, at some point, you know, you can be down the pub with your mates and you see your mate go off with a good-looking spider, and then the next thing you know, he's been eaten. But at some point, a man's got needs. And the most important thing is, if you're going to get eaten by the female after you've got it on, make sure it's a 10 out of 10. Make sure it was worth it. Worst thing you want to do is have a few pints and go off with a 4 out of 10, and then she eats you. And you go, oh, fucking hell, she wasn't even good looking. Boring question, but we are bored. Mark's IMDb top 3 movies. Heat, Jaws, probably The Godfather. I do like The Departed. I do like The Departed. Mate, if it was in real life, isn't that what the internet's for? I'm not getting eaten afterwards. Boring question, thank you. Mrs. told me to stop playing Oasis. I said maybe, so Slazy. Don't worry, we've only got 25 minutes and then we get a penalty shootout, because this is going to a penalty shootout. This is going to a penalty shootout. 100%. I know football, you know football. This was going to extra time ages ago, and it's definitely going to go to penalties. Which will be great for Argentina, because they'll be playing a team that's tired. Take the time to make some sense of what you want to say, and cast your words away upon the waves. Corner to Colombia. Mark Goldbridge and David Attenborough when, says Doctor. Oh, he's hit the Denver. Oh, that's the closest we've come to a goal. Header against the bar by Colombia. The female Black Widow. No, I'm not doing it. So basically, you get your end away with a 10 out of 10, but it results in death, says Profit Pathway. Yeah, it would be like that film Basic Instinct, basically. You know, you get a go on Sharon Stone, but afterwards she finishes you off with an ice pick. Which would be painful either way. Have you seen Ozark? Says that guy. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And look, the ending's not for everybody, but I thought it was as dark as the series. Where's your t-shirt from, Mark? People never ask me that. Where's this t-shirt from? Son of a tailor. It will be that one, definitely, because of the collar. Sam says, an ice pick is not painful if it's to the head. I love people who tell you about ways that you can die and it's not painful. I mean, unless your name's Jesus, I don't believe you. Somebody once said to me down a pub, would you rather get killed by a crocodile or a shark, right? Which is a good conversation, right? Because it's, you know, especially when you've had a couple of pints, you do think it through. And they said, after I'd made my choice, they said, I'll rather get killed by a crocodile because it's not as painful. I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, it's not that painful because a shark actually bites you and tries to eat you, whereas a crocodile basically just gets you in an arm lock and rolls you around and drowns you. I'm like, oh, yeah, it doesn't sound traumatic at all, does it? Something that's massively stronger than you, spinning you round and round whilst grabbing onto your arm. I mean, it doesn't sound bad at all. Surely if you put your head into the shark's mouth and it bites your head off, it's as quick. It's quicker. Foul on the keeper there. What's your top 3 video games excluding FIFA, says Ricky. Cannon fodder. Can I use old games? Sensible Soccer, Cannon fodder, GTA. Yeah. Sessions, Everett's, Cleese. We're just waiting for penalties here, aren't we? Metal Gear Solid was good. Why did they never redo Metal Gear Solid as a, you know, massive open world game? Apparently that new James Bond film's or that new James Bond game's okay. Mario Kart's good. Mario Kart's good. Have you played the Last of Us games? No. I haven't asked Oscar. Probably should do. GMNS says, what's the craziest fan encounter you've ever had? I wouldn't say it was crazy, right? We did some live shows in, we did like a live tour. We did some live shows a few years ago. We did 2 nights in Dublin, a night in London and a night in Manchester. And then the next year we did Manchester at Christmas. Anyway, at the Manchester show, I was doing photos with people. And somebody said, I've got a pen, will you sign your signature on my wrist? I was like, why? He says, because I'm going to get a tattoo. I was like, don't do that. And he was like, why not? I said, come on, you know, I know I do a bit of YouTube and that, but you don't need to do that. He says, no, I want to. Oh, great save by the Colombian goalkeeper. I'll tell you what, in extra time, they are having a bit of a go. Colombia bit the bar. It's a good save by the keeper there. It's gone. I tell you what, it's gone a lot quicker with them trying to score goals as well. Anyway, I go to the next show about 8 months later, and he's queuing up for a picture, and he goes, look at this. And he had my signature tattooed on his wrist. They'd used the ink signing as a template. Hi, Mark. I heard you're doing nil-nils again, says Hamza. Yeah. What about Wii Sports? Oh, I used to love Wii Sports. Actually, you just reminded me, one of the best games I've ever played, and I'm telling you now, I had breasts like Pamela Anderson. No, not like that. But they were really muscly, so it wouldn't be like Pamela Anderson. It was called Grand Slam Tennis on the Wii by EA. It was fucking brilliant. It was brilliant. You could play as like Murray, Djokovic, Sampras, Agassi. It had all the greats and all the current players. The career mode was brilliant. The playability was good. And you literally played with the Wii controller. So you would serve it up and hit it, and then you'd move around like that. It was really realistic. And you could play people online. I used to play for hours. You'd be playing some guy in America in a 5-set thriller. It was brilliant. And you moved up and down the rankings. You've got me on something now. I don't understand how you can make Heat in 1996 and in 2026 we've not really had anything anywhere near it. I don't understand how music was amazing in the 90s and we don't really do it now. And I don't understand how you can make a game like Grand Slam Tennis on the Wii that was perfect. And, you know, you're actually moving around your room doing it. And never seen anything like it since. It was absolutely brilliant. It was a brilliant game. And I tell you what, you used to burn some calories playing it as well. It was brilliant. It's one of the best games. I actually got my Wii out of the loft about 3 years ago and logged on to see if you could still play online, and they closed this. You can't play online anymore. You can play the game, but you can't go online anymore. They've closed the servers. It was a brilliant game. It was brilliant. "2026 lockdown to see you play loads of story games," says Oscar. Yeah, we don't want another lockdown. Corner to Colombia here, right at the end of the first half of extra time. Blow the whistle, ref. Let's do penalties. I actually want a penalty shootout now. You know what? I'd actually be disappointed if it didn't go to penalties now. I'm not going to lie, I would. Oasis definitely maybe, or Pulp different class. Oh, easily Oasis definitely maybe. Are we a result of circumstances or actions, says Boomed? That's way too deep for me. That's what she said. Slazy says, N64 GoldenEye, 4 split screen on a 14-inch TV with a table separating the top and bottom too, so your mates wouldn't look. Those were the days. Sounds great, Slazy. Please try Red Dead 2 again. Best story ever. Mate, I'm never going to play Red Dead again. I'm never going to play it again. I've tried it twice. I got really far this time, and it broke. It just lost my information. It goes to penalties. Record it. Come back tomorrow because still taking them. Can't score, says Ray Cowley. Remember? Oh yes, Adam. LMA Manager on PS2 was the best manager game I've ever played, and it was well, it was not the best, but it was brilliant on PS2. What do you think of the Breaking Bad series? Very good. And you know what? You know what? You know what? I actually think Better Call Saul is almost in the same conversation as Breaking Bad. Now, some people agree, some people don't. It's a very controversial conversation, but Better Call Saul is almost at the level of Breaking Bad. It's very good. And in some ways, you could argue it's better because it's very difficult to be acknowledged as a sequel. Totally Alfie says, curious Mark, would you ever do another book? Also hope you're able to do Germany next season to live commentator match if you're licensed. Yeah, it'd be great, Alfie. Would I ever do another book? I think the book I did was a bit tongue-in-cheek, a little bit of a guide to football, a bit of a laugh. If I was going to do another book, I probably would do a proper book, you know. Less of the jokes, more of a story. A real story, you know. Warts and all. Better Call Saul is better, in my opinion, says VBA. Dr. Humus says, favourite WrestleMania, Mark. I don't know whether the quality of the conversation went better in that extra time, because I felt that that was the best 15 minutes of the stream. Will you play FC26 again, Mark, says Sean. I don't think so. I found it very frustrating when I tried to play the World Cup. I just can't get on with the game. And I have used sliders in the past that make it good, but I just can't get on with FC26. Whatever the FIFA was in lockdown, I think that was the best. You know, when it was like that Atletico Madrid set, that final where it had like 25,000 people watching. Whatever FIFA that was brilliant. Yeah, autobiography, that's what I meant, Plume, yeah. It was probably FIFA 21, wasn't it? Or FIFA 20. Chew, this says, any Doom or Mass Effect games? No. I tell you what I did used to like on the Amiga 500 Plus. Civilization. I got addicted to that one Christmas. I completely missed Christmas. I was addicted to playing Civilization. I also remember playing Monkey Island. And I really enjoyed it. And I got stuck at this bit. And I could never get past it. And I was walking all around the island. And I just couldn't figure out what to do. And you didn't have the internet in them days. And I just got stuck at this place and I just didn't know what to do. Do you miss the FIFA Confederations Cup? You can't miss what you can't remember, Brandon. Users falling asleep. Go to bed, mate. No one's keeping you up. Syndicate was good. Was that the one where it was futuristic with 4 people going around with them big guns? That was good. It's almost like a futuristic cannon fodder. Who should I support as a US soccer newbie, says Will. United. See, this is the thing the Glazers don't realise. I'm always doing the good work, trying to get new United fans. Profit Pathway says, do you remember the Cadbury's Phil Collins advert? We were literally talking about it at some point tonight in this longest watch-along ever. Yeah. I like Rocket League. I just was never very good at it. The concept of it is brilliant, but I just never really was that good at it. YouTube has a full playlist of your old GTA 5 lives uncut. What, on this channel, on a channel I own or somebody else? That's from Pure Lock. I'd watch them. I sometimes watch classic episodes of Goldbridge and Kent up front in TUSFC career mode because I know that's on the internet, on the YouTube somewhere. Metal Gear Solid was a game changer, Mark. That says Anglo-Saxon. Snake! Somebody said it was already open world. It can't be open world because it wasn't an internet game. Do you like horror games? I did like Resident Evil. I am looking forward to GTA 6, yes. The timer's off, Mark. You're asking me to figure this out now, aren't you? So we are coming up for 5 minutes. You're asking a lot. There we go. Yeah, I can't read, Hamza, I can't read out super chats about onanism. Are you excited for McGregor's UFC return? Luca, unfortunately, your tweet about it is the first I've heard about it. What was your first video game console and game? I got a Sega Mega Drive and I got Altered Beast with it. Right now, I'd support Trump if he called Infantino and told them to eliminate both teams and put Mexico back in, says Slazy. Look, never say never, because Egypt did very well against Argentina, but you'd struggle to see how they're going to score the goals to beat Argentina, either of these teams. Sega Mega Drive. Those were the days. Road Rash. What a game. Oh, who remembers that TV show as well? Games Master. I used to love that. If Jurassic Park was real, would you go and see it? Says Doctor. Yes. Nice ball out wide here. He's going to wait for the overlap. Don't shoot. No, that wasn't a good decision. Over the bar. Who remembers that stupid game? Echo the Dolphin. What a shit game that was. Some people absolutely loved that. Oh, I just love swimming around the ocean as a fucking dolphin. Oh, God. The most friendliest fish in the fucking sea. Oh, my God. What a crock of shit that was. I genuinely think that's one of them things that people said they like to be edgy. I genuinely don't think people actually liked it. It was fucking shit. It was rubbish. How did you even complete it? Why would you want to complete it? I mean, I never even got the point. Oh, there's a dolphin in the fucking sea. We should be happy then, shouldn't he? Why are you swimming around solving things, fucking flipper twat? I need to get back home. I need to get back home. You're already a fucking home. You're in the sea, mate. Over the bar. Jacquard. I didn't do a bet builder for this game, Pingu, which is probably the best thing about this game. UK Ajax says thoughts on Mocchio from Ajax. Also missed earlier chat. Sorry about that, pal. I had him on my career mode, mate, so I presume he's going to be good. You should get a multi-DVD loader for your PlayStation. I had one. It was a real game changer. Why? What does it do, Keith? Chris Jackson says best, worst game to movie conversion. Well, if they did bloody Echo the Dolphin, that would be the worst. They should sim this to penalties, definitely. Do you think you'll see United doing a treble again? Says United Dial. No. Might not see United win a Premier League again. But I'm not bothered about that. I'm not greedy. Like, I really genuinely do not care. I'd like to see England win a World Cup because I've never seen it. But I don't care if I don't see United win a treble again. I'd love for my kids to see United win a treble again. But I don't care if I don't see it again, because I think, one, it will never be beat anyway, and two, I think if you get to see it once, it's a real treat, isn't it? I mean, look at Arsenal; they've never won the European Cup at all. So yeah, of course, I'd love to see United win it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, how was he missed? I thought there was like it's just a mistake at the back. He's through one-on-one. Fucking hell. I mean, if Colombia can't score that, I mean, I don't know who I want to play Argentina, because they won't bloody score anyway, will they? Abraham says, I've absolutely been enjoying this World Cup. It wasn't till the clear corruption first with USA and Trump, and then now the clear favoritism for Argentina. Do you agree? Yeah, but they are small, isolated things at the moment in a larger positive. Get an EpiPen because these guys are allergic to scoring, says Rob. Spent many hours on Command and Conquer Red Alert. I never played that, Plebe, but I know it was very popular. I think you get into a game and then you just get, you play it a lot, don't you? Like, I loved Championship Manager. Do you care who wins? I genuinely don't care. Yeah, I don't care now. Did you ever play Celebrity Deathmatch? That game was great. Having Mr. T, Marilyn Manson, Jerry Springer, Carmen Electra in Deathmatch. Loved it. No, I didn't, Sinead. I've heard of it, but I didn't play it. Shinobi Ben, thanks for your super chat. Nearly 14,000 watching. They're all coming in for penalties. Well, fair fucking play if you haven't watched the game and you're just coming in for penalties. I wish I'd done that. Imagine if you could do that. We're going live at midnight for penalties. Why are you not watching the game? Because I know something you don't know. We're never going to get that couple of hours back, are we? I tell you what, it's a good job this is the last one. In fact, I tell you what, it's a good job there's not a 1 AM game, because I would have had enough tonight. Rascal says, reboot of Crystal Maze be nice. Try Arc Raiders. Wan says, do not judge Colombia on one game, especially if you have not watched any of their other games. They play really offensive, but Switzerland has known how to stop them. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Like, I don't think Spain are a bad side. I think Portugal just played very negative. England against Ghana was crap, but then look at England against Croatia and Mexico. So I think sometimes you are dictated to by the opposition. This match has all of us checking our watches. Fair play Switzerland, says Darian. Mark, you remember the match between Man United and Vasco da Gama in the year 2000? Was that where Beckham got sent off? Keel Robinson says, I completed Echo the Dolphin. What was the plot and what was the point then? Tom wants a quick update on Argentina versus Egypt. Watch the highlights, mate. I would never be able to do it justice. Dolphin version of Flight Simulator, says TK. Kits, music's off to the shop if anyone wants anything. I still watch your Mark Goldbridge podcast you used to do every Friday. Should bring something like that back. Well, watch this space, Harry. Watch this fucking space on United Stand and on That's Football. Some very good stuff coming up. Would you say Sicario is a top 10 film? Not for me, Doctor, but it is good. Well, we've only got a minute added on. We're going to penalties. Dolphin family got kidnapped by aliens. What? But he's a very smart snail after hours, Mark, says Last of the Redskins. Samuel says, didn't watch the Argentina game. Was it rigged? Nikolai, did you see my chat about different playing style? I think some people have put some in and I've gone back and I can't find them. So apologies for that. Penalties. Penalties. This was not what I wanted. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. You can do one thing positive about tonight and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 1.5 million. So thank you, everybody. I really enjoyed the World Cup watch-alongs, but not this one. Do you have a memorable pen shootout club/country? Yeah, I mean, I think Man United, Chelsea for the Champions League was pretty memorable. Funnily enough, England, Colombia was my first ever time at seeing England win a penalty. So that was enjoyable as well. End of Echo the Dolphin. Echo the Dolphin's finale begins in the punishing Welcome to the Machine stage and concludes with the last fight. Echo battles the Vortex Queen, a xenomorph-like alien, by attacking her eyes and jaws. Defeating her triggers a self-destruct sequence, allowing Echo to escape with his rescued pod. Still sounds a load of shit. It does look like an alien from Aliens. Fucking hell, that game pissed me off. What a load of shit. Just Pasty says, I want Colombia to win. They could beat Argentina. Switzerland won't. It's turn the timer off. It's well, it's a penalty shootout now, isn't it? It doesn't come down to who can beat Argentina. You've had 120. I have no sympathy for anybody who loses in a penalty shootout. I do have sympathy for a lot of people. I have sympathy for the fans, but for the players, don't be crying. You had 120 minutes. AMC Deacon, I can't find it, so why don't you just type it in the chat and then I'll read it. Keel says, told you, mate. I tell you what, if I know people like I think I do, I bet there'll be a few people playing Echo the Dolphin tonight. Who's going to win on penalties then? Who's got the better goalkeeper? I think Cobble is a decent goalkeeper, and I would say he's the better goalkeeper, isn't he? The Colombia goalkeeper Vargas, 6'3", plays in Mexico. I think the Swiss might win this. I nearly dropped that on my foot. That would have hurt. Yeah, I quite fancy the Swiss, I think. Can you give Ringo Starr a happy birthday, please? Says Chubby Checker. Guess the age. I would say he's 84. I love guessing the age of celebrities. 86. 86. Paul McCartney is 84. He is 84. Rock on. Yeah. Doobie-doo. Right, let's get on with it. Be nice to be done by midnight. I am actually very good at guessing the age of celebrities. People say it's luck. I don't think knowledge is luck. Shine bright like a diamond. Please do subscribe to the channel. We've got 15,000 people tuning in for the most exciting part of this shit game. We are 10 subscribers away from 498,000, which means if we hit 498,000, we're 2,000 away from 1.5 million, which would be great to hit during the World Cup. Welcome to the community. Everybody's welcome here. It doesn't matter who you support. Even Argentina fans are welcome. But you might not be that popular tonight. All-American trilogy in Lancashire. Do, 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 do. Fucking hell, he's a little scary. Well, considering how bad the shooting's been in this game, I'm predicting we might see a few misses. I'll laugh my head off if everyone scores every bloody penalty here. Surely not. LFC David says his run-up is too long. Is he right? No, he's smacked it down the middle. There we go, Quintero. Quintero makes it 1-0 to Colombia on penalties. Have you seen the referees for France-Morocco? Yes, Michael, they're all Argentinian, but to be fair, the referee today was French. Maybe they're helping. Maybe they'll help each other out. Maybe it's the other way around. Switzerland failed to score a single penalty against Ukraine in the 2006 World Cup. Granit Xhaka. It's Granit Xhaka. Good northern lad. Go on, Granit. More cheese, Granit. More cheese, Gromit. Here he goes. Granit Xhaka is going to leather this, says Billy. He won't miss. Told you. Keeper did go the right way, but it was a good penalty with height. Ben Foster told me it's hard to save a penalty if they go high because you naturally are diving low. See? Keeper maybe should have saved that, to be fair. Did get a hand on it, but just couldn't keep it out. One. Shame we couldn't do that in the bloody game. I think Switzerland are going to win. I don't massively care who's going to win. I think I'd rather see a South American game because I think South Americans against each other is quite rare in the World Cup. So I think Colombia-Argentina would be a great, intriguing game. But I think Switzerland will win. Apparently the referee is 5'3", if you wanted to know. I don't fancy Davinson Sanchez to score. This is just about whether he goes the opposite way to the keeper because I don't think he's going to be very good at penalties. I think he missed against England in 2008 and he's missed again. Shit penalty. Mark, Manic Street Preachers or Oasis? Oasis. I mean, he nearly broke the bar with that. Is Manzambi back for Argentina or is he out of the tournament? Sam says, why is the centre-back taking the second penalty? Because players are bottling it, aren't they? People are stepping up on, I'll take one. It's the Southgate factor, isn't it? 96. When I saw Southgate walking up, I didn't think, oh, fair play for taking one. I was like, why the fuck are you taking one? Good penalty. Switzerland looking good here. Amdouni puts it in the bottom corner. Carl, thanks for the membership. I feel Switzerland have got this one in the bag. Number 3, Campaz. Needs to score, really. Very lucky. Keeper went the right way. It went underneath him. That was close. Very, very close. Went underneath the goalkeeper. Well, Switzerland miss and we're back square. It's a Kanji. It's another centre-back stepping up. Lurker says, I don't know who to support. It just depends who you want to play Argentina, really. I mean, a Kanji. Matt says he will miss. He was right. Matt was right. And he was in the chat. He was not a prat. Matt was right. Over the bar by a Kanji. Terrible penalty. Why are centre-backs taking bloody penalties? They're not, unless you're Harry Maguire. Sit down. Carl McAdam says, I'm gifting a membership for someone who survived this. It's horrible when you're in a penalty shootout and you're winning and you give up the lead. Apparently this guy is really good in FIFA, number 19. Chicha Hernandez of Betis. He's not very good at penalties. It's a very good save. It's a very good save. I thought it was a good penalty as well. I think it's just a very good save, that. I mean, that was as good as Harry Kane's against Mexico, the way he's hit that. That's not the angle I want to see. I think that's a very good save. We need to see that from behind. That's shit camera work. I don't think that gave the keeper credit at all. I would like to have seen that from the front on. Why doesn't Diaz fancy a penalty? I think he's probably going last. Well, if Switzerland score this, they're basically there. And he does go down the middle. Colombia need to score and save to stay in. Switzerland, Argentina at 2 a.m. on Sunday. Fucking hell. You know, if I have too many beers after England, I might not bother watching that. I don't know. I don't know whether Argentina, Switzerland's worth watching at 2 a.m. I think it'll be. I think Argentina will win that quite easily, you know. Well, Diaz needs to score, and then they need the keeper to save it. Well, he has scored. He's very excited, but now he's going to go and talk to the goalkeeper. It's basically score this penalty and you're through. Now, what would you do as a goalkeeper? Do you take a gamble and dive, or do you stay still? Mad Boy Time says, I bet he saves it. I think I would stay still. Because if you dive and he goes down the middle, it's going to haunt you. I think I'd stay still. No, lovely penalty, low, into the bottom corner. Switzerland go through, Colombia go out. They're into the quarterfinals of the World Cup. And we lose another well-supported team in this tournament. Loads of Colombians there. But you know what? You know what? In fairness, in absolute fairness, you've had 120 minutes. You didn't score. You can't moan about losing a penalty shootout. You can't. You can't. And fair dues, you know. Anyway, I'm off. Thank you very much. Enjoyed the stream, enjoyed the conversation. Hopefully the Swiss defence shows up against Argentina. We will see on Sunday night. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Thanks everyone who subscribed, by the way. We did hit 498,000, so we're 2,000 subscribers off 1.5 million. We are back with World Cup football on Thursday night at 9 o'clock for France-Morocco. Enjoy a couple of days off. I've got some content for you tomorrow anyway, but World Cup watch-alongs back on Thursday night. Take care. Stay safe. I'll speak to you all in a bit.